Unpleasant scenes as fatalities shocked the smooth run of our indigenous game just after week 8 of the 2017-2018 Ghana Premier League to cause an abrupt end at the Indian Sports Stadium. But saddened the more is how the Premier League's pace-setters and front-runners Kumasi, Asante Kotoko and Accra Hearts of Oak are being pushed around like Ninos, most importantly on the field of play. But my spirit was lifted when I met this young, talented individual who left us with a message I would not want you to miss out on. So stick and stay with me on this episode of The Beautiful Game. This is The Beautiful Game with me, Abigail Senaso. And you can log on to our YouTube channel. It's the Ghana League TV. On Facebook, it is The Beautiful Game TBG, where you can get everything you want on the Ghana Premier League. But today, I'm here with a very young, passionate entrepreneur who has taken coverage of the Ghana Premier League to a different level with the introduction of a website. And so today, we get to talk more about week 9 and what to expect. And don't forget our pick of the week. But quickly, let's roll by you results from our midweek fixtures. Hearts of Oak at Enyinase were drowned by Karela FC by 3-1. Kumasi Asante Kotoko held Bekum Chelsea to a 1-0 drop game at the Babara Sports Stadium. Inter Allies beat 11 Wonders by a lone goal. And West African Football Academy held Ashanti Gold also to a stalemate. Bechem United muddied the waters for All Stars when they beat them by 2-1. And Liberty Professionals were beaten by Dreams FC's only goal scored by Zuberi Sharani at Sugakope. That game between Elmina Sharks and Mediama FC had to be cancelled. You're still on The Beautiful Game with me, Abigail Senaso. And like I said earlier, I have an entrepreneur who's also passionate about our game and my league here with me. James Soa is my guest for this episode. He's one of the brains behind GHPL Live. I know you've seen it around on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram, and everywhere. They give us up-to-date stats and records on our Ghana Premier League. It's an honor to have you here, James.
Thank you very much.
And thank you also for coming. GHPL Live, what are we talking about?
Well, GHPL Live, we are talking about news, we are talking about reviews, previews, we are talking about stats, and then the bottom line and the master of all is the data collection, analyzing, and then making sure that Ghanaians in the diaspora will also appreciate what the Ghana Premier League is all about. Good
job out there. I watched people work last season, and the improvement this year is something else. All we can say is more grease to your elbows. But I know you also traveled the length and breadth to cover our Ghana Premier League. But week 8, for me, I was very sad. But that incident at Indian Park, couldn't we have just avoided that?
To start, I'm still in the state of shock as to how the irate fans got access to the officials' parameter. Sure. Because for sure, I know the Indian Sports Complex is one of the most safest places when football is all about, because we all witnessed the hosting of the Wafu tournament. Some of the matches were played there. So certainly, it's a very good ground for association football. Yeah. So as to what happened, still, investigation is ongoing as to how those irate fans got to the perimeter of where the officials were. But these are some of the things that pulled us back. These are some of the things that we've been trying to take out of our league for so long. So for it to happen in the 21st century, it's marvelous. It's worrying, and it's a cause to worry when it comes to people trying to put their money in the league, because nobody would like to put the money where some of these hooliganism things are.
It will be a dent on their image as a corporate body, and I think they are more concerned about that than the money they are giving out.
Certainly. Yeah.
But other games went on, and I would want you...
Don't start from
I know you don't want to remind yourself of that result, but here we are, week 8 in Enyinase. For me, I think that would have been the story of the week, not for this incident. Let's look at the results again. Which of them really caught your attention?
I think definitely mine is actually Brecum Chelsea picking a point against Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Okay. Despite Kumasi Asante Kotoko not being on top form currently, but I think Brecum Chelsea, they've been one of the bad travelers the past 3 seasons. They rarely pick a point on the road. The last time they won a game on the road was against Bolga All Stars. Yeah. Then they had already booked their tickets to Division 1. So picking a point, they even went ahead and they could have gotten all 3 maximum points had Steven Amankona scored his last gasp goal. But I was a bit surprised with the score lines in Yenase too.
Why?
It's shocking, shambles. Yes, a win was expected because when you put the 2 teams, their strengths and weaknesses, a win was expected of Kerala, but not at that margin. Because I think last season, Kerala never lost a game at home. They won all their Division 1 league games, and they seem to continue with that wonderful run in the Premier League. Okay. We all know Accra Atofo have a patchy run. The team is in disorder at this moment, and I must say, Accra Atofo currently don't have a coach.
Like I said in my intro, it's not supposed to be so. These are clubs that are supposed to be the front runners. They are to set the pace for these clubs to follow. But it looks like these new entrants are rather dictating the pace. It's interesting. Kotoko and Hearts is their problem.
Well, they have a very massive problem which runs through from the head down the mainstream and then through to the football, the players aspects. One, there's no consistency when it comes to coaching. There's no consistency when it comes to management of the various clubs. And now, you see, there are no minnows in football anymore. Every team wants to strive. Every team wants to be heard. Every team wants to be seen. So they are trying to putting things in perspective. That's one thing, professional structures. And when you see a club like Kerala FC and the kind of good thing that they are doing currently, you'll be marveled.
What a lot of people don't know about Kerala is arguably they had the best preseason. To have stayed in the French country for some time, and then even they came back without their goalkeeper. Meaning it went so well, he had to be sold. And so for me, their performance is not shocking, but I agree when you say we all didn't expect that kind of margin.
That wasn't expected at all. 3-1, Accra Atofo were comfortably leading 1-0, and then back from recess. Just one change that they did, and it changed the entire complexion of the game with Kerala FC running routes. It's marvelous, and I must say kudos to them for a wonderful job they are doing out there.
Clearly, my guest here is a Hearts of Oak fan. You see the passion with it. He can't stop talking about that defeat. But there's more on our YouTube channel, on Ghana League TV, on Facebook. It is a beautiful game, TBG. And a very big thank you to Oyo Clothing for putting this fabric together. There's more to talk about Kotoko and Hearts, especially as we are inching closer to week 10. So don't go anywhere. That preview that you want to know about both sides when they clash in Kumasi next weekend. Transition often comes with major decisions, and that is what he had to do some 6 years ago when he finally decided to hang his boots after playing for Grade Olympics, Mediama SC, Accra Hearts of Oak, and beginning from the wee youngsters. We took a trip to the camp of Dreams FC and caught up with assistant manager Wilfred Dormond, who shared his life story with us and where managing Dreams FC is taking him to.
Well, I would say it's been interesting because for me to get a transition was not easy. You know, I was a former player of Hearts of Oak, Mediama, Accra Great Olympics, and for me, when I was playing, I was a different mindset. But when I cross or transit into coaching, it's a different ball game. So I am picking the pieces. In fact, it's a learning curve. I have worked under so many head coaches. I have worked under David Duncan at Olympus. I also served as the assistant to CK when he was here. I also served under Karim Zito. It's been really interesting, but it's not also been easy as the assistant manager. But like I said earlier, it's been a learning curve. And for me, it is a blessing for me to come into coaching. Because when I was playing, there were a lot of things I wanted to achieve. So for me to get the opportunity to do coaching, I think it's a great opportunity for me to achieve some of the things that I was not able to do. The passion I have for the job was what necessitated that decision. In fact, it has not been easy because it comes with challenges, it comes with reading, it comes with making decisions. I realized that that decision about 6 years ago, when my career was coming to an end at Mighty Jet. It was then that I realized. In fact, a lot of people spoke to me and they assured me that the way I speak, if they look at my knowledge about the game, they think I can be a great coach. So a lot of factors necessitated that decision, and I have not been. In fact, I haven't regretted for making that decision. I believe the sky is the limit. It is miracles as far as I'm concerned, but it is also relationship. I have a very solid relationship with the current owner of the club, the director of the club, Kurt Edwin Simon Okreku. When I was playing, I remember when I was playing at the Williams State at Accra House of Folk, he was my personal manager. So that relationship also helped. He told me about 6 years ago that Drummond, you were a fantastic footballer, but you were not able to achieve a lot. But I believe when you go into coaching, I believe when you go into managing, you can do great stuff. You can do some of the things that you were not able to do. And I took that opportunity. And ever since, I have not been able to look back, with any regret. For me, I share a lot of principles. Or the key principle of my coaching or on football is possession football. I believe that you possess to score, and I believe you also possess to defend. I believe the opponent can only score when you lose possession. So with fitness, with psychology, with technique, with tactical, qualities being the fundamental of the game, I believe the next necessity is possession. We are a small club, but we have big mentality. We have big ambition. We do things in our own small way. And we are very, very happy that the fans out there, the football industry, have greeted to our ideologies, to our philosophy. But when we came back to Premier, the first objective is to make sure that we maintain our status. But along the line, if we should get a trophy, it should be bonus. But our main objective is to make sure that we cement our position in the ongoing Ghana Premier League. Well, we want to be seen as one of the best. What we normally tell them is that this career is a very short career, so make hay while the sun shines. We tell them that when they go on the pitch, they're as good as their last game, and they should not be complacent. They should keep working, they should keep pushing, they should listen to the players, and they should listen to their coaches and their managers. Yes, they are good players, but they are not full packages. In fact, my career has just started. I have a long way to go. But let's stick with dreams now, and let's look at how the future holds for us. I believe the future holds a lot of great things. For now, it is Dreams FC, and I want to give my best. I want to give my commitment to Dreams FC.
So from the field, now on the bench, telling me when he look at the guys, he just shake his head and says, I have been there before. I posed that question that, why won't you go back to Hearts? Why won't you go back to Mediama and Dreams FC?
Well, clearly that's a good example of leadership there. But I think he's seen it all, he's done it all, and he's still got it in him. Playing for the likes of Accra, playing for Great Olympics. It takes a lot. If switching camp, it takes a lot, and he delivered whenever he's on the pitch. Sure. But managerially, going to either side, Accra to Folk or Great Olympics, it's a no-go area. You see, we don't have the systems and structures to make sure that these players succeed. Siki Akono came back to Accra to Folk after staying outside, learning a lot, trying to bring it to bear.
But he's still working and doing good for a former side.
That's because the likes of Accra Great Olympics and Accra to Folk don't have the systems and the structures to help these young and upcoming coaches to grow. They want quick results. They want it overnight, which doesn't happen.
But can he succeed at Dreams FC to that level he wants to go as a manager?
Dortmund is a very great guy. He's super intelligent. He's learning his trade, so he's decided to learn it from one of the best when it comes to Ghana football, and he's learning it to the very peak. He knows this is a gradual process. Sure. He can't do it overnight, so he's taking it step by step. Hence, being under Karim Zito, we all know Zito when it comes to Ghana football. Sure. So he's studying, and when the time comes, you see how he will explode, because his dream is to be one of the best when it comes to Ghana football coaching, and I think he will relish it if he's able to stay at Dreams for a longer period. Okay.
But can we get to a point where we can say that this is the handwriting of Winfred Dortmund, and like the things he did in his playing time, can he put that into the place for them to replicate, for us to see those things again?
Yes, he can. It's all about player psychology and then team management. Sure. If he's able to infuse his morals, his will to do, his never to give up attitude, his quote and unquote die-hard attitude into the young lads. And I think currently we are seeing some of the young chaps coming up from Dreams FC. So currently he's not at the helm of affairs. He is assisting someone. Sure. So he can be autonomous when it comes to certain things. But with time, if he is to take up a mantle, not only with Dreams, but with any of the young teams springing up, I think we can see Winfred Dortmund signature all over it.
Okay, so we'll all be waiting for that signature of Winfred Dortmund on any club that he might move on to from Dreams FC. But he says currently it is about Dreams FC, and he wants to go with Dreams FC. But talking about Dreams FC, they moved up to 3rd place after beating Liberty Professionals. Let's look at the league log in a bit. On top and unshaken is Ashanti Gold, who are still up there with some 14 points. Second is new entrants Karela FC, who are also on 14 points. And like we said, Dreams FC are now 3rd, also on 14 points. Mediama SC, after having to abandon that game, are now 4th, also on 13 points. 5th is Inter Allies, who are also on 12 points. Elmina Sharks moved to the 6th position on 11 points. Asante Kotoko occupy the 7th position, also on 11 points. Bechem United are 8th with 11 points. Accra Hartlepool have dropped to the 9th position on 10 points. Bekum Chelsea, West African Football Academy, 11 Wonders, Ebusia Dwarves are all in that order, also with 8 points. 14th is Adriana Stars, who has as much as 4 games in hand and are just with 7 points. Liberty Professionals are back to the drop zone and on 15th with 7 points. While All Stars, what is happening, are 16th with just 5 points. We are still on the beautiful game with me, Abigail Senaso. But there are some dramatic changes on the league log just after one round of matches. So your club needs to hold on firm and keep giving you that good performance. He joined Dreams FC some 5 years ago, and a product of Konongo Dumasi Senior High School in the Ashanti region, eloquent and intelligent on the ball. Leonardo Wusu-Ajiman shared his time with us and told us more about being a captain of Dreams FC.
My name is Leonard Owusu, attacking midfielder, Dreams FC. Football, like a normal household game, started from Peace FC in Achimota before coming to Dreams FC. We play in a Justify Your Inclusion. I was picked to Dreams FC, and that's where I started from there. And I'm a product of Konongo Dumasi Senior High School. That's a great course. I chose football because I had the talent to play, and then my director or my manager, my everything, my dad told me that I have the talent to play football. So football is also played within some age range. So then why don't I do the footballing? So maybe after that, if the football doesn't help, I can maybe do the schooling or something. So that's where I said to myself, okay, let me give my all to the football game. He saw me playing, and then I think some elders too called him and then told him that, okay, you should give me a chance to play football for some time and then get to know what is going to come up from inside. So that is where I also spoke to him, and then he allowed me to play football. Okay, I've been in Dreams FC for 5 years. Sometimes when you go into some teams, it's like if you've been in a team for some time, for a long time, you can become the captain of that team. And in some teams too, when you go into the team and you know how to play, you can be a captain. But for me, I have those two qualities. I've been in the team for long and I know how to play. The journey coming into the league wasn't that easy. It was very difficult in the Division 1 back then. It was very, very difficult. But I think we know where we're going. You know, as a footballer, at least you know what your mindset and you know what you want to achieve. So being in any team, I think you just have to psych yourself up, because we going down from the Premier League not because of we were relegated, but some excuses beyond my concern. So I think it was a little bit difficult, but we have to psych ourselves and then come back and then achieve our main target, that's coming back into the Premier League. Yeah, my style of play sets me apart from my other colleagues. That's what I can say. It hasn't been easy because yes, I'm a leader, but dealing with my teammates around me, you know, we all have different mentality. We are from different homes, and then we all have different behaviors. It hasn't been that easy, but I think you have to have a bold heart to be a captain. And sometimes you have to stand up and then shout. Even if the person is grown up more than you, I think you have to stand up on your authority over them. So that is how we keep going. And as in Dreams FC, we all say that we are a family. So they listen to me and I listen to them. For me, I've been hearing that the league is not, good players are not in the league. You know, that's what I've been hearing. But what I'm going to tell my fans is they should patronize the stadiums. They are going to see good football, very, very good football. So I'm begging them that I just want them to patronize the stadiums, that they are going to see very good football. These are not the days of maybe Charles Taylor or maybe Emmanuel Osekufo. These are the days of the Kwesi Donsus, the Patrick Razaks, and the Leonardo Usus.
And there you have it. He said it all for me. Patronize our stadiums. This is the time of the Leonardo Usus, the Patrick Razak, the Kwesi Donsus. You just can't miss out on that interesting game they give us week in, week out. James, for me, I was very excited. I remember that interview so well. And I just said, thank you. You said it all. I keep saying this and nobody is listening. Leonardo Usus as a player on the quiet returns from injury and 2 man of the match already.
That's a touching preview of the Ghana Premier League from Leonardo Usus, a very intelligent player. I watched him for the first time during the G8 tournament, and then I said to Okreku, look, this guy is one of the gems of Ghana football. You guys need to hold him very high. But unfortunately, he got injured, so he did not start the season with them. But his introduction over the past 3 games has really lifted the game. He's made 3 appearances, 2 starts, 2 man of the match awards, and it's not just playing, but he's knitting every bit of the midfield together. He can pass the ball, he can dribble, his off the ball movement, his positioning, and the way he organizes his side is simply incredible.
And another example of what people say, that not just anyone wears the number 10 jersey.
There's a saying, the local parlance, Bulu 10. And look, until you watch Leonard play, you'll never appreciate what a talented player he is. He's so super, and he works so hard for the team.
I think his father will be proud wherever he is, because to give your child the support from the go to leave business steady and you allow your son into football.
You see, these are some of the things I want to see in my local league, in my football. You see, it's not just, gone are the days, there's a saying that the street guys that plays football. But no, football has become more scientific, it has become more intellectual. You need to have some level of IQ. You see, when we watch the Kakas, the Ronaldos, and we marvel, these are all science now. You see, how to pass, when to move, when not to move. They are all science. We can learn it. It's not just for the street kids anymore. Football is becoming expensive, so we must make sure we give it the level of intelligence that it is.
I like his confidence. He says that to be a captain, you need to know how to play, and you should be with the club for a long time. And he's bold enough to say he can't play.
Certainly, he can play, and that's the confidence that he plays with whenever you watch him play. he's a gem. If anybody is watching us, whoever is watching us, if you've never ever watched any of the local games, whenever Dreams is coming to town, please try and get a ticket and watch Dreams and watch their captain. He leads by example. He drives the team forward, and I'm so proud of him, and I'm happy for Dreams to have such a wonderful, talented player. For Dreams FC and Leonardo Owusu and his lads, you should watch out for them and how he's able to get that connection and get his team moving even in difficult times. We are heading straight to our pick of the week, and this is it. Our pick of the week is going to be Karela FC and Elmina Sharks. On the beautiful game, we arrived at that one because look at Elmina Sharks. They beat Accra Hearts-of-Oak 2-1. Karela comes back a week after and beats Accra Hearts-of-Oak 3-1. And so these are the two sides that have caused Accra Hearts-of-Oak pain in the last two games. So let's see how they battle it out with themselves. In Enyinase, I think it is fast becoming a no-go area like Doma. As we enter into week 9, we would want to look at the games and then touch on our pick of the week. James, week 9 is here over the weekend. Let's generally, what are you expecting from this round of matches? Well, I'm expecting a win for Accra Hearts-of-Oak and then a win for Kumasi Asante Kotoko to set up a thrilling El Clasico next weekend. Okay. But I won't be surprised if Accra Hearts-of-Oak lose their next game and Kumasi Asante Kotoko draw their next game. But let's wait and see. Whichever way, I think we'll be in for a thrilling encounter in game week 10. As you rightly said, the pick of the week will be at Enyinase. Yeah. It's gradually becoming a Waterloo for almost every side that visits that. They are yet to lose since Division 1. So Yahweh Champion and his charges, they are doing a very good job with Elmina Sharks. They've chalked a lot of success in the past four games. I think they've not lost a game yet. But with Karela, who are on form and coming back from the backdrop of a convincing 3-1 win against Accra Hearts-of-Oak, I think I'll tip Karela to carry the day. But it won't be, Elmina Sharks won't go down without a fight. Certainly, they will swing and swing hard, but Karela might emerge victors. Would you want to predict? That's you're putting me to the sports, but I think I will go for a 2-1 win for Karela FC against Elmina Sharks. Okay, so another win for Karela FC there by James Sowa on the beautiful game. Like we said earlier, Kumasi Asante Kotoko will have to journey up north and play Wild Stars in that encounter, and Hearts-of-Oak have been moved to the Babara Sports Stadium to play Bishop United. In Enyinase, it will be Karela FC against Elmina Sharks, and in other games, Bekum Chelsea will welcome Liberty. Dreams FC return to the Deo Stadium to face Adriana Stars, and at the Cape Coast Stadium is going to be Ebushina Doors versus West African Football Academy. At the Nana Ajiman Park, it will be 11 Wonders up against Mediama SC as Ash Gold and Inter Allies open the week. You're still on a beautiful game with me, Abigail Senasosu, and don't forget to log on to our YouTube channel if you have not done that yet. It is the Ghana League TV. On Facebook, we are the Beautiful Game TBG. Interact with us and tweet at us. This is my league. So if you want to meet this young and passionate entrepreneur who is seeking to take our Premier League to the next level, you can meet him up as Ash Gold face into Allies. And then on Sunday at the Babara Sports Stadium, you can meet us as Hearts-of-Oak lock on to Bechim United. Always grateful for your time with us here on the beautiful game, and a very big thank you also to Oye Clothing for putting together this fabric for me, and to Mirror Glow Eugenia for my hair and makeup, and to you, my passionate entrepreneur James Sowa, for your time with us today. There you have it. The beautiful game is on Ghana League TV, on YouTube, on Facebook. It is the beautiful game TBG. Get interactive. Another week is here with us. What are your predictions? Look up to your club, because I know they won't disappoint, because this is our league.